Hello, and once again, we are live to the Modern Mystery School UK and EU podcast and YouTube channel. And today I am joined by the gorgeous Jen. Jen, how are you?
I'm wonderful, Obsessima Kate. How are you?
Very well. I'm enjoying the sunshine and life is good. And we're going to be talking about life activation. So, my favorite things.
I know.
So tell me now, let's just have a look at this little bit of background here, because there you are, Harvard instructor. Kind of people might think this is kind of very left brain, I mean, we might assume that. And then all of a sudden, here we are talking about life activation, which essentially is, a very shamanic, magical tool that goes beyond the human logic, but it works. So, can you tell me, number one, how did you come to have a life activation, and then what was your direct experience of it?
Well, first of all, that left brain assumption would be correct, because I was very happy. I would have said I was very happy to be teaching business communications at Harvard University and public speaking classes and traveling the world and going wherever I wanted to, and just generally having a very carefree globetrotter academic elite kind of life. And it was only when I actually flew back to the States from New Zealand, which is one of my favorite places in the world, 3 days before COVID.
Wow.
happened. And so I had spent my entire time at Harvard traveling as much as I could, teaching as much as I could, with no foundation whatsoever. No home, not married, no kids, no responsibilities at all. And all of a sudden, the whole world shut down, and I couldn't go out anymore. And the only place left to go was in. And as someone who was never particularly curious about a spiritual path, wasn't looking for one, probably would have run away from it if someone offered it to me, it was very humbling to suddenly be indoors like the rest of the world, saying, I'm not sure I know who I am. And so it was a startling admission that I had to make for myself. And fortunately, one of our guides, Charlie Logan, was offering Max meditation. And suddenly I was able to meditate through Max meditation, which I never had been able to before. And it was just this explosion of creativity and expression and joy. And I thought, oh, this is unexpected. This is not what I'm used to. And then after a while, after a month or two, Charlie really recommended the life activation for me. And I sort of did it because I thought, well, if this is the next thing beyond Max meditation, then let me just give it a try. And to my shock and amazement, after my life activation with Charlie, the whole world looked different. I literally remember looking out the window at this oak tree that was in Charlie's yard at the time, and it was just the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. It was full of color and life and energy, and the wind would move in, and I thought, I have not drunk any tea. I have not consumed anything, and I am really blessing out, and that's usually not my jam, so I was very confused. But it was an undeniable experience, and my academic mind was both very confused and really intrigued, right? Because this was something different, and so I really wrestled with going into Empower Thyself, because it seemed like quite an investment at the time. But I went, and then my whole world changed, and 5 years after that, incredible day, now I'm a healer and a teacher and a guide, and my path is wildly different than what it was when I encountered the mystery school. And the one thing that's remained the same is that when I talk to my students at Harvard, I always said, all I care about is that what I teach you gives you real world results. It should change your life for the better. It should increase your income within 2 years. If it doesn't, then I have failed. And so part of my approach to the mystery school was, surely this isn't going to work. surely this is going to, surely the other shoe is going to drop any minute now. And I'm going to find out that this is all a scam. And it continued to not be a scam, and it continued to be amazing and wonderful. And then really incredible things started happening, like family relationships started to shift and heal because I shifted and healed. The mystery school was able to do in 5 years what decades of therapy on and off did not. And so it was, I often was a skeptical and sometimes difficult student because my very impressive brain couldn't come to terms with the real life joy and happiness and peace that I was finding with the mystery school the more I studied and studied and studied. But I do love a school. So I took as many classes as I possibly could. I've seen you in many programs now over the last 5 years. And so it's not what you would expect from a former academic elite, but I have to say the fruits are much better.
It is so powerful to hear you say that, and there's many things that I could point, delve deeper into those things. But I love that you said, you explained that your world, even though fabulous pre-life activation, it is something that a lot of us have in common, is that we are always using life as a distraction. Yeah. Traveling or business or something, and that's really interesting. Yeah. To the world, it can seem like it's really exciting. You're doing stuff in an event, but you're so right. It's that there's never time to go in. So you don't actually realize actually, there's no foundation. Yeah.
And in retrospect, that was pretty deliberate, right? It was unconsciously deliberate that I said, no, I can't. I have to go to Australia. I wish I could, but I gotta. Yeah, it's humbling to realize after the fact that you thought you were happy with a rock and roll academic lifestyle. I know those seem like oxymorons, but I made it work. And in retrospect, I think, dear God, I was so unhappy. It was just empty. And I wonder how many other people find themselves building a life that would seem to be the blueprint for success, accomplishment, achievement, joy, love, happiness. And they find themselves, when they're really honest, going, why doesn't this feel better? I thought this would feel great. Why doesn't it feel better? And to that, all I can say is that the life activation will help.
100% agree. And I think many, if they're truthful, will come to that realization. And the other thing that I love that you said, actually, which is the same for me, is that the relationships in my life all got better. All, my family, my friends, and not that I had kind of bad relationships beforehand, but I just, so much healing that I had, it was all down to me, that the healing that I had, then I could actually really respect and honor all of those people in my life. And I was like, wow, we actually have so much in common, and we we could laugh together a lot more and such like. So that, for relationships, I'm 100% with you.
Yeah. And I don't know if you feel this way, but I definitely felt almost a generation of blame and judgment and shame just sort of evaporate. Even as sometimes I kept clinging to it, going, no, come back, I need you. I don't know who I am without you. Oh, you're gone. I
Oops.
guess I'll figure it out.
Yeah. It's a funny world, isn't it, where we want to point the finger outside at everybody and everything.
Yeah.
And actually just giving our power away constantly when, you know, it's just these small changes within having the life activation, initiation, doing, you know, changing our mindset, and all of a sudden our whole world changes.
Yeah. Everything changes, right? And I wish I could, if I could go back and do anything different, I would have gone through the past 5 years of mystery school first. And then I would have gone to Harvard, because then Harvard would have been an absolute breeze. And everything would have been easy. Everything in life it seems 10, 20, 50 times easier post-life activation and post-empower thyself. And this is coming from someone who is always looking for a loophole or a hack or a way to make things easier and crush the achievements and go to the next level. And what else can I do? What else can I achieve? If you don't have the soul foundation that life activation and empower thyself gives you, you're always running in quicksand. And so Harvard certainly opens a lot of doors, but life activation and empower thyself blows all the doors off the hinges. And so for me, there's no contest. For me, there's no contest, because the fruits are just too good. The results, the real world results, are just too good.
And on that note, I think there's no more to say. I mean, our time was whizzed by, and I think that was the perfect ending. And it does absolutely do that, blows the doors off. I mean, thank you
all
so
of them.
much. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Obsessima Kate.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And we're definitely going to get you back on the show and talk about some other classes and things like that you've done. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And for anybody out there that's interested in having a life activation, we can connect you. There's many life activation practitioners in over 55 countries or something around the world, so we can get you connected, no problem. So thanks so much. Take care for now.
Thank you so much.